Okay, I just woke up and I remembered that yesterday my econ professor had a little bit of an ego check. And I was like, you know what, I probably should do reporting on this. It's not something that happens every day. So essentially, what happened was I was sitting in my econ lecture as I normally do. I was playing Slay the Spire 2 on my MacBook that doesn't run Slay the Spire 2 at any decent speed despite costing like $1,000. But I have to use a MacBook because my university is like MacBook infrastructure based. Because everybody else has a MacBook, and then I also have to get it's stupid. It's stupid. Okay, I just okay, and then. And then the teacher, the econ teacher, the econ accountant teacher was talking about like Walmart and Target and like markup pricing on the goods there and like what that means for you as a consumer and also what it means as a business, yada yada yada. The higher the markup price, the higher that you're likely to get charged at the store, the more they're taking advantage of you, or how much volume they do, stuff like that. It's pretty like, understandable business concepts. I didn't really have to pay attention to that stuff, but and then he's like, oh yes, and then you go like, oh, the Target people, they have like French connections, they're like a French owned company, which may explain the fact that they have like a more or more like focus on selling goods at a higher, like a larger markup than like Walmart, which is like an American company. Basically, you just go into company racism essentially. Going, well, because they're French, they like marking up their products a lot, which would explain the larger price increase for the French thing, yada yada yada. And then somebody in the class, this smart dude, pulled up his little laptop and then he started typing, and this was the start of the villain arc. Because the guy pulled up the computer and he was like, teacher, actually, it's not a French-owned company. Target's, in fact, the all-American-owned company. There is no French influence there. And so the teacher goes like, oh, are you sure about that? Are you sure you're not, like, looking at the AI overview? And the guy goes like, no, I'm looking at, like, a website right now. And he goes like, well, I didn't want to have to play this card, but I was actually the CFO of the Tiger Woods Foundation, which is that golf player, which I don't blame you if you don't know who Tiger Woods is. The only reason I know who he is because all finance dudes keep talking about Tiger. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyways, so he's like, I was a CFO of the Tiger Woods Foundation, and we would work with Target for like fundraising and philanthropy and stuff and things. And I can tell you that there were some French connections around there. And then the same evil guy goes back to typing on his computer, and he goes like, well, according to like Target, the whole rumor that they're owned by a French is just like a rumor for some reason, and there's actually like really no French connections there at all. Like for some reason, people think the Target's owned by the French when it's actually just American, and it's just a weird rumor. It's like a conspiracy theory. And he goes like, okay guys, well, you see, this is the problem with like modern society. You guys will go online and just read whatever you want and then regurgitate it, and you'll never think for yourselves. Like you trust the internet more than me. I was working in the trenches. I was the CFO of the Tiger Woods Foundation. I know what's going on really behind Target. Okay, I was talking with the executives, and let me tell you, there was French people there, And then he was just yapping like for like 5 minutes while everybody was just staring at him, like kind of trying not to laugh at this guy's mental breakdown that people. So he literally just got fact checked live, and then he was like, I'm actually correct. And like, now I'm thinking that this guy is actually like not actually that truthful when he's talking about his other stories, because like if look at trusting Google sometimes is probably a bad idea. But what like Target specifically comes out and says, no, we're not French. It's literally just a rumor. Like there's no reason for, like, we're not French, guys. We're an American company. It's literally a rumor. Like, I don't know where this come from. We've addressed it, and he goes, no, guys, don't trust the official sources, okay? I know, because the Tiger Woods Foundation. So like Tiger Woods Foundation is like a charity. Okay, I'm assuming it's a charity because it's a foundation name, and also I don't think Tiger Woods would be running a business because that guy plays golf. And well, I guess running a business playing golf is like kind of overlap, but he played like professional golf, which is supposedly different or something, right? When you play professional golf, you're out there playing golf all day, not trying to run a multi-billion-dollar business. Not like, because like all the finance pros also play golf, but they play it not to actually win the game. They play it because, guys, it brings connections. Like, I can go out and then talk with all the other rich people, which then gives me opportunities, which is, you know, that could be true, that could not be true, right? But that's their reasoning. They're not, you know, trying to run a business. So I don't think that, you know, also don't think a charity foundation would be let into the eternal messages of, like, a professional company. Like, you're a charity foundation. Like, sure, they're gonna do, I'm sure Target did a couple advertisements with them, just be like, we donated $50 million to the Tiger Wood Foundation. Now, will you come please shop at our store? So then we can get returns on this definitely not advertisement donation to the charity. And they're like, okay, maybe I will. You know, I hear that Target now has very, very good golf clubs because they donated it to the charity. Like, I don't think they're going around and, like, sharing their personal, like, oh yes, just because we're working with you as a charity, just you know, we're actually French. We're actually French. Don't believe anything you say. The Target French-owned vampire monopoly is real. But, like, it's just we're required to disclose this when we work with a charity, and we've also set up the entirety of the internet to make it sound like we're not actually French-owned. But just between you and I, Target's a secretly French-owned subsidiary for the French Uber World Council, and, you know, that why do you think we carry so many pastries and baguette type things? It's because all of our customers needed baguettes in the US, and we were like, oh my god, we can supply this. We have a captive French player base, and they also secretly support us through French taxes. The French government as a way to topple the American economy and take all the retail stores. And I you know, I'll say there's a possibility that he's right. You know, my professor, he may actually be spitting some facts out here, with the secret French overlordship of Target. He may be right. He may be right. I just think that his refusal to, like, consider outside perspective is a little bit concerning, right? Because he like, if he had instead phrased it like, okay, you may be right, but, like, when I was working at the CFO Foundation magic charity thingy, you know, there was a lot of French people around there, so you know, maybe what the internet's saying is wrong, but I could also be wrong. And if he phrased it like that, I would still be holding respect for him. I imagine I wouldn't even be making this video. But the fact that he stuck to his guns, look, it's entertaining. I'll give him that. Like, I stopped playing Slay the Spire on my computer, which is not an easy thing to do. Once you get in a Slay the Spire run, you're kind of just stuck in there until the game releases you. Until I got owned, bro. I didn't even make it past the first stage, but, like, until I never get. Some people actually have the ability to win that game. I've yet to beat Slay the Spire 2 once without my friends helping me. So, like, but, like, you know, I'm still having fun. So. Who really cares at the end of the day? Now, these people, this guy down here is actually playing the game. I don't think his cannons can actually shoot me, though. I think I'll be okay. Anything else really happened? Nah. There was actually a couple of international students sitting with us recently at like behind us, and they're not sitting with us, they're sitting near us. And man, you know, I'll give it that. Like, I make fun of the people at my university for being questionable. You know, they dress questionably, they act questionably, mostly, like, with the horny pretext behind them. But goddamn, with Chinese girls have a different type of horny feeling, you know? Like, when Americans, like, are looking a little bit promiscuous, they mostly don't have, you know, a lot on. But when Chinese people are feeling a little bit promiscuous, they put, like, an actually unimaginable amount of makeup on. I was just, and it wasn't even like I was at some special, like, party or event. No, I was just sitting there in the dining hall trying to enjoy my meal, and then I see the most, like, actually, like, the half the cosmetics industry walk through the door, and I was just like, damn. There must be, like, no wonder cosmetics is going so hard, probably. Like, the amount of, the profit margin they must be making off of people like this is insane. Like, I was seeing, like, the entire face was covered with something that makes their face whiter, which is, you know, suspicious. And then there was also, like, of course, the lip gloss, and then there was also the eyelashes, something that makes the eye bags bigger. Like, which also just makes them look tired. I don't understand. Okay, I don't understand that part. But it was just a thing, because, like, I had seen this in, like, you know, on the internet, we're just going around and just being like, here is a Chinese celebrity television show, and they all look like absolutely, like, zoinked to the hell with the amount of, you know, cosmetics they have on, and I was like, okay, but it's like celebrities, you know, so it's fairly normal for celebrities to go around all day and then, you know, then be like, oh, in fact, I have now tried 17 different cosmetics, and I like this cosmetic brand slightly better because definitely not because they paid me, but because the texture is it's just something you can't find in other places, you know. It's just a superior texture that any real person would know how to choose. It's like, okay, well, they're celebrities. It's like they are literally getting paid to wear this stuff. You know, it makes sense that they have actual layers upon layers upon layers of it, and then they get paid to say it. And then but I was expecting like a normal person to maybe have like a couple, like, you know, a couple things on, but the whole last thing, and just to like eat at a dining hall. Like, dining halls aren't even fancy. Like, the dining halls are where you go when you're like not eating something fancy. It's the food there is like ass, but it's all you can eat, so then you can survive off it pretty well. You know, it's not ideal, but it's not like terrible. And then like the greatest amount of makeup I've ever seen walks through the door, at least in real life. Like, of course on TV it's a different story, but you know, real TV, you never really process something as being real on TV. It's like seeing a corpse in a cartoon, and you're like, okay, well, you know, it's a cartoon, man. Like, seeing it doesn't hit the same. But then when you see it in real life, you're like, wow, it's actually real. Real people actually act like this. And I was just in shock. You know, I was used to Americans being clowns, but the Chinese also being clowns. I was being stunlocked. I was like, I thought the East was supposed to be like better or something. That's what everybody on Reddit says, and then, but no, they are just as corrupted. They also scroll all the day. They do all the scrolling. They do all of them cosmetics. They are, I mean, I was always told that the Chinese weren't great consumers, you know. They were always talking about the problems that all the Chinese don't know how to spend money, and that Americans can spend too much money, and it's like kind of the opposite issue in both countries. But no, from what I saw, that Chinese do know how where to spend some money. They got loose wallets. You know, they just see something, they're like, this looks like makes me look nice. I've seen this on television before. On a celebrity who I think I should buy this, and then also put effort into it every day, even when I'm going out into a basic ass dining. And I was just, I'll never be able to understand it. But maybe I'm just stupid, which is a completely possibility, right? I'm pretty sure they are the smart ones around here. I look at they're from China going to an American university. Clearly they got some wisdom. Oh shit! Clearly they got some wisdom out here, because that is kind of impressive, you know. From what I, like, you know, the Chinese paycheck I hear is like 1/7 the American paycheck on average, and like, you know, I can barely afford a university in the U.S., so like I can't imagine how it is to be like a foreigner coming here and then just getting absolutely ass cooked, and you're like, what? If this costs $40,000, this is like equivalent to like $200,000 in my home country, and you're just like, oh, well, I guess that's just part of the Chinese. How many lasers does this guy have? Like, Jesus, like, come on, spread the love. I have 2 other alive teammates. Go shoot them instead of me. This is actually getting unbelievable. What? The amount of these people are trying to penetrate me so hard right now, and I'm getting jealous. Like, my teammates need some love as still. Like, I'm almost concerned for my teammates, right? They're getting so much less affection than I am, and it kind of feel bad for them. And these people, I'm sure they want a couple lasers up their asses, setting them on fire, blowing up all of their wood. You know, making some explosions go on inside of them. Like, that is a teammate. Okay, well, the bottom guy's just AFK. Wait, did the bottom guy just straight up leave? I don't know when I actually have the... Oh, yeah, it's a 2v2. Great. I love having a bottom teammate that I can't even take because this guy's here. Oh, and now, I don't even know if I can win this game, man. I don't even know if I can win this game. I already killed 2 of them, but I need to kill the bottom guy. Just, I can't, man. My doors are being constantly shot at, and I need big doors to actually have an angle on anything. And it sucks. This sucks. Oh, never mind. My teammate has an OP howitzer. And, okay, that's some core damage. There's a couple more shots to the core, and then hopefully we can win. Anything else happen? I've actually called one of my German friends recently. He was telling me... The friend group I had in Germany is now falling apart. One of them got a boyfriend, and nobody else likes the boyfriend. Which means that she has now become kind of like she's on her villain arc, where she's like, I don't know, I'm better, blah, 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 because I have a boyfriend and he has money or something. You know, the usual comical villain that you see in one of those high school movies. And that was actually like I thought that guy was gonna shoot down the howitzer with Ken, but she's on her villain arc, and now whenever I call one of them, she's like, okay guys, don't tell this you heard this from me. But actually, I don't like the boyfriend. You know, he's kind of an asshole. He kind of goes around and he doesn't think we're cool. You know, he thinks we're losers, which, you know, probably an accurate statement. Like, from his perspective, like, societal losers, I mean, they play D&D all day, okay? Like, they are actually, like, just as much of a loser as, like, the people from, what's it called? Oh, very nice. From Stranger Things, they're like the same personalities. They're all nerds, but they're happy being nerds, right? They're cool being nerds. So, you know, now that one of the cool boyfriends has come in, it's kind of ruined their whole life, and it's just like, well, no, you guys weren't supposed to start fighting with each other. What I was supposed to have a cool reunion when I eventually one of these days go back to Germany, and then now they're having fallen off. But at least I get the entertainment from it. Like, I'm pretty sure most of them are emotionally affected by having, you know, their friend betray them or something. But, you know, if you're a person that just lives in a place where you're like, okay, well, I have an emotional connection to you guys, but it's not that deep. I haven't seen you guys in a while. And, judging from the personality breakdown from when I was there, this does kind of check out. Like, you know, I'm sure it's shocking for a lot of them. But what, like the girl that has the boyfriend now, she was pretty on the judgmental superiority complex side of things. You know, she was studying psychology, and she thought that was, like, you know, understanding the human mind. She was going to help out humanity because she was so cool and smart. Which look at, she was cool and smart, but she knew it. That was the difference. You know, a lot of cool and smart people just don't know they're cool and smart, and then, like, you know, they don't, like, express that towards other people. But she knows it, and now I think that my German friends are starting to feel the consequences of that. I can't kill this guy. I can't shoot this guy at all. What the heck? Okay. I guess I'll build a bunch of new weapons and catch you when that happens, because, yeah, none of these have the current ability to actually shoot them. Oh, okay. The host has decided that he has had enough, and he has just forced quit the game. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. That was my econ professor crashing out, and a few other things, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. May catch you next one. See you.